All right. Welcome to a grand update for the dynamic radial menu system. Now, it's been a while since I've done an update. There's been quite a few changes in 4.12, which kind of uh, made me relook at the entire menu altogether. And so I ended up breaking the entire thing down and redoing most of it. I wish I were kidding, but I'm not. So the main change, it's a really big change as well, is that the entire system is now in the form of a structure. And the reason I did this is because rather than having a bunch of menu items for each and that will be okay. So here's the master. It's mostly the same, uh, except the values are altered via set members because it's the best way to edit a an object from that's in an array structure. So so yeah, and so how I have it here in the class defaults. Let's see. Might be things that I should have deleted. Excuse me a quick second to take care of this. Rename text color. I just want to make sure that everything's as it's supposed to be. So, the main pie menu is actually smaller. That's because there was one thing that I was doing over and over again, so I decided to put it into a function, just sort of break it apart to put it together, if that makes any sense at all. So, okay, so you still have quite a few options: menu color, the local offset, menu name text color, shadow color, subtext color, all of this yummy fun stuff. So it's not as much because a lot of it's actually in the new structure. There's still quite a few options. And so now let's get to actually right now it's set up so none of them they don't have anything. So I'm going to be showing you the demo asset, even though this says, oh, that's just the custom. So even though it'll say that one has one item because I was testing it, even though it'll say I have all the different components made, they are actually empty. The individual data, 0 elements. So menu names, actually, that won't need to be there anymore because it doesn't work that way any longer. It'll actually, you'll do everything from the structure. So let me erase those, make sure they're all gone. Yeah, they're all gone. Okay, so. File these really quick, save them. Now let's get started. So I'll explain the new features as I go through them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it so that here's the default system, and I have the component for size, shape, firing rate, and color. So I'm just going to add the different items in that order. So let's see, individual data. 17 elements, don't be intimidated. When you're doing a redirection, ooh, some internal menus checked. I don't want to check this default for the master one. Nice. Yes. Thought it looked like it was checked. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to create the different elements. Now for a redirecting menu, which is what this is going to be, menu redirect, all you really need is the name. So let's put projectile size. And then set up the redirect. So there you go. That's element 1, easy. Or I'm sorry, element 0, item 1, I suppose. But let's see, the next element will be projectile shape. I'm just going to set the pointer to shapes. Next one is the firing rate. And so, firing rate. And last but not least, colors. So, almost went in the wrong spot. So yes. Projectile colors. So we have the defaults nice and ready. I'm going to start off with the projectile size. It's the easiest thing to do. Now, so one change I made is that everything will work through a radial interface. I'm sorry, I read radial menu commands, and so I said radial interface. It'll go through a blueprint interface, and so that's another big change, because rather than having everything cast to the character, it'll just send everything to an object reference, and so you can go. In order to get that set up, if you don't know, you go into class settings, you click add, and you'll need to put in the radial menu commands. So then they'll show up right here along the side. Now, it is right here. The main ones that you'll need for every single one will be the reload current menu. I just added it there, so it's at the bottom. It's radial menu open, close automatically, change projectile color. I'm sorry, not change projectile color, but change menu to target. I wish I could reorder them, but that's not something that looks like can be done. Anyways, so change menu to target, close automatically, is radial menu open, and reload current menu. Those are the ones that matter. The projectile size, projectile shape, firing rate, projectile color. You can delete those. Those are my custom functions. So any new commands that you want to go through, you will have to set it as a as your own custom function in here with an input. And in order for it to work, it has to have an output. So usually it's just a success, a boolean for success. And most of the time, it does not make a difference. It does not matter. There will be times where you can find yourself, hey, I might need an output of my own, so then you can exchange this, if you don't need it, for one that you actually may need. So just a little quick sort of flyover the how blueprint interfaces kind of work. So, okay, so I'm going to do projectile size first. I have my own custom array. This is still the same. I have my own custom array for the importance of each size. So this, you can keep it exactly the same. Excuse me. You can keep it exactly the same as it was. This will work exactly the same. You have to create your own custom array that's the same size as the data input, which right now we don't have anything in the individual data. So I'm just going to create, let's see how many elements were in this. 5 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I remember, I went up 0.5 from each. I'm sorry, I went up 0.25 from 0.5 to 1.5. So let's see. I'm going to set it because this is what the player will be able to read. 50% as the name. 75%. 100%. If I could actually write it correctly. 125%. And last but not least, 150%. So we have 5 elements here, and we have another element here. And here's something, actually I'll get to that in a second. So first let's test this out. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is my first time testing it out. It should be completely perfect, but let's find out, shall we? Okay, so it all works. Projectile size. It says 50% for each one. Okay, so obviously this will be fixed. What's going on? Now it's going in the names, but currently high. Oops, that's why. Excuse me. That was my bad, but I got it. I made this entire thing from the top text. Oopsie, way over here. The top text and the center text first, and then I copied and pasted it over, but I forgot to change the integer here. So now it'll work. Perfect. That's the regular size. Ooh. Scale size. Let's go to 50%, half the size. She looks the same. Quick second. I think I know what happened. When the menu is initially made, I'm actually not. Let's see. I'm not defining the owner as self. Oh. According to this, I am. God damn. Let's check all of them. Size. Oh, of course. Excuse me for that moment, that quick brain fart. But the reason I'm keeping them, I mentioned it in a previous video, is so that way if you find that something, I'm going to keep these errors in, I'm not going to edit anything. This way, if you are having a problem yourself with something working, just based off of watching me, hopefully you'll be able to identify the error as well. Projectile size 50%. It's itty bitty. Projectile size 150%. It's still too small. What's going on? They define the values. Projectile size, 5 elements up here, 1.5, 0.75, 1.25. So it should be, oh, So it's choosing 0 for some reason. So that's up here in the pie menu. Selection made, I believe, is the selection made. Current menu currently highlighted. I'm going to set it so every time currently highlighted changes, it'll print something real quick. I prefer print text over print string because of the formatting. It's so much easier. So currently highlighting number. Set it as num. Oops. Paste that there. Compile, save. Okay. It's not detecting it. So this command is actually not firing. Refresh position. That's the only thing I can think of. Angles or menu angles even being used. Give me a quick second. This might be my fault. Set menu angles, and the menu angles will consist of menu regions. Let's see if regions is being used. It looks like it is, but okay, give me a quick second. I'm going to hit play here. Okay, I'm going to use my multiple monitors to see where exactly the entire system is going wrong. Actually, I might do this the other way so that you could see with me. Real, where'd it go? One second. To move it the other way. It's not going over the way I want it to go. Oh well. This here. Put that there. I guess I'll create a new viewport. Viewports, here we go. Viewport 2. No, it's not going to work that way. Okay, great. Good, so pull this over to the next monitor. Maximize it. This is open. So here I want to watch, where is it? Watch this, and I want to watch this value. And here, choose this and see if this actually goes off at all. Oh, it Actually, it's not what I want. Master's what I want. So this should have occurred at startup. So it is changing. Oh, sorry. Just in case I said it so it watches two elements individually. That is odd. Okay, let's get the length. Print that out. Our length is up. I'm not formatting. I can drag this over here. That. Okay. Oops, wrong button. Like this 4. It knows that there's 4 items, but the values. Okay. Everything's coming up at 0, 0. So that's where the problem is. Okay, individual data, get the length, divide by 360 to create the segment size. And for every one of these, we multiply against the segment size. So 0 times the segment size will be 0. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Segment size will be 90 degrees. So 0 times 90, because it's 4. 0 times 90 is 0. Now we get 90 divided by 2, by negative 2, for this, to get the where it starts and where it'll end. So essentially, we're taking half of whatever the segment size is, and we're shifting it by half. So the first one will be between negative 45 and positive 45, right here. But that's not I see where the error is. Okay. Right there. So I'm going to take that out the way. My mistake. I will make sure to put a notation in the video so it skips ahead. Okay, so let's get this back to where it belongs. There. Tab. Okay. Projectile size. Percent. How that works. 150. So it works. Thank goodness for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and make this a tiny bit easier for myself. I want to be able to toggle the Pi menu. I like toggling it. It's just there was a glitch involving it, but I fixed it. Oh, that reminds me. There was something I was doing to fix the glitch, then I realized it was my own fault. Okay, I did fix it. Okay. So let's see. We have that particular system working. Now let's make something a little more complicated, because pretty much the rest of them are just as easy. This one has 3 elements. So, oh, I remember what they are. First one is called single shot. This one is tri-shot burst. This one's fully automatic. So that's done. This one, which is the shapes, this one's going to be a little more difficult just because there's icons involved. So let's see. Individual data. 6 elements, 0 through 5. This ends at 5. So first one is the sphere. And that will select my icon for the sphere. Okay, I guess that must be it. Then we have the cube. I'll select my icon for the cube. Cone is next. Type name. Customize it however I want. Okay. Pyramid and then capsule. Okay. Now, one thing I'm going to do real quick is show you something that I forgot to show you. It's one of the new features, and it's pretty nifty. You need to go into class defaults, and you can give the top menu a title. So I can go here, top text title. I can choose for this one, since it's the shapes, I can call it shapes. But I have to go down here. If I'm going to do that, I have to go to top text, click on it. Use individual text, I leave it unchecked. Duplicate selection, I leave it unchecked. If I wanted to color it, I could give it a custom color. I'm not necessarily going to do that right now, though. But I can go ahead and choose center text color. I'm sorry, not center text color. I'm going to choose, use the center text. And let's make duplicates, shall we? So we want to check use individual center text. So that means it'll be different for every single thing. So check center text. Check use individual center text. And then center text duplicate selected. So which one was this one? Oh, projectile shapes. And you know what? I'm going to go to sizes. Call this projectile shapes, make it nice and fancy. Go to projectile sizes, class defaults. Projectile sizes. Scroll down. Use top text. Here is top text. Check. You can go here and call this one main menu. Scroll down. Top text. So now in every single menu that I'm at, that I have open, it'll display whatever I'm on. Projectile size, see, it says projectile sizes. Projectile shape. Now, whatever I highlight, it'll display the name of the center. Because that's how I set it up. I set up the name up top and whatever I wanted in the center. But let's say the text is a little bigger than this and I don't want it to overlap. I can go back into the projectile shapes and change the scale of the entire menu, as well as the where is it? The size of the hole. Here we go. Let's make it 0.75, really big, and let's make the menu scale 1.5. So there'll be a visible difference between the size of the first menu and the sub-menu for the shapes. Whoa. Okay, so I'm going to have to keep in mind that I have to fix this. That was an extreme example. I do apologize. I won't fix it right now, obviously. Let's see. Set it back to 1. File and save. At 1, everything's lovely. So. Almost. Menu skills 1. Why has to be because the whole size is so big, 0.5. I will work on fixing that. I'm just gonna give one last peekaboo. Okay, so I'll probably have it in the description of the video when it's fixed. If it says it's not fixed, then try to avoid a size of 0.5 for the whole. Interesting that the menu scale actually didn't affect the top text, so I'll have to go fix that as well. Anyways, what am I going to do? Firing rate. I have yet to show you that. And this one is not going to be in the radio menu. So rather than a radio menu, it would be like this. Which is quite lovely. So that way, you know, you don't have to have it be this big old round thing. It doesn't have to be that. So, try shot burst. Let's do it. Oh, I know exactly what's wrong there. I did not set up any of the yeah, see, I didn't set up anything else. So, shape. Firing rate. Color. So overall, the system has a lot of optimizations, even to this sample third-person shooter, other than having everything change in the projectile menu, which is what I had in the original project. I made variables and exposed them, made them editable and exposed them on the spawn. So that way, what would end up happening is that I would, whenever I would fire, I would pass along projectile shape as well as the color. And the size would go right in here. So yeah, it was a good way to go. Okay. Colors is the last menu that we need to do. But let's get to it. So firing rate, try shot burst. Projectile shape, let's do capsule. Projectile size, let's do 150. Pretty large capsules. Now I can go fully automatic. Very fun. Also, there's something I want to see. Firing. I'm going to go into firing rate. I'm going to set it so that the let's see, auto pointer. I know there's an option here for rotation. I guess not. Ah, never upside down. So let's go back into firing rate. I think that has to do more with the menus. If it were a radial menu, then it would work there. So let's see. Upside down. Let's uncheck it. Shapes. Yes, it was. So then this and in this manner, things will rotate completely, as opposed to if they're past this, they'll just flip like they're that. Technically, those two are opposites. So instead of doing that, it would just. Now let's see what else we have. We got to do the colors. So let's go. Let's go get the colors. Now, what I'm going to do, let's see, individual data. I know, you're wondering why it's not displaying anything, and the reason is it's going to display the individual color from the menu. So, let's say, first item, let's color it black. And individual color, you want it to be black. Let's see. I'm going to look at the class defaults real quick, or some of the other class defaults, I should say. Let's see. Menu colors all. So it knows that each individual one will be using its own color. It will not be using icons. It will not use the text, but it will still use the top text and it'll replicate the selection. But we will need to check use individual top text. Okay. So now let's go. Oops, I don't know why I left the menu. Color 2. Let's call that one white. Oh, look, it's already white. 3. Index 2, element number 3. Red. Now let's change this to red. Green. Change this to green. Technically, just raise that one, but whoops. Okay. Blue. I hit Shift Tab and now it's lagging. Let's give it a second. There we go, blue. Orange. More quickly, it should be 0.5 and 0. Yellow. The elements. I'll call this one aqua. I'm going to make it, I'm going to leave it like this real quick. Let's see how this goes. So, check our colors. It's in roulette mode, so that's why it's like this. If you think it looks weird, yes, it does look weird because it's in roulette mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. So black, white, red, green, blue, orange. Oops. My scroll down doesn't work. Aqua. So that works. Now, interestingly enough, for some reason, orange and yellow actually look pretty close to each other. As a personal preference, I'm going to adjust that. Here, 0.25. That should be different enough. I'll add one more for violet. 0.5 red, 0 green. This is my favorite hue. If I really wanted to be adventurous, I would go down about halfway and even make this, oops. Make this 0.125. Actually, that is probably closest to my favorite hue, so I'll do that one. Dark violet. Compile and save. Very, very important to do often. Okay. Select our size. 150. Select our shape. Cone. Firing rate. Fully automatic. Color. The down mouse wheel is not working, so bingo. Let me fix the down mouse wheel. Okay, so let us see what we have here. Oh, functions, mouse wheel down, direction 0, direction 1. This is supposed to say -1. That's what's wrong with it. Okay, let's try that again. Colors. Up. Down does not work. Why does down not work? Let's look at it again. Potential lit. But 0 lit down. So it's supposed to be 0. Why didn't 0 work? Currently highlighted, subtract 1. Make sure that they're exactly the same. That's right. But do I ever set this? Refresh notes. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to find references set. The menu length as the length for menu size. Why am I getting it from menu size? Because that could potentially be the problem. Menu size is the length. It's less than 0, then we set it as the last item. First. This is how it should be. It is exactly as it should be, but for some reason it's just not changing. Okay, now it's not going down. It goes up, just not down. Let's check out the first person character. Zooming it out. Come back into the game. Yeah, it knows to do rotation down, but it's not doing it. Let's go to the pie menu. I figured it out. What currently highlighted is it's not doing this. This is what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, now it'll work. Colors, up goes 1. Down does not move still. What in the world is going on? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just have to change it the easy way to the more common sense way, I guess is the better way of putting it. So if this plus 1 is greater or equal than the length of the menu, set this to 0. Else. Otherwise, to take this, one to it, and whatever this is, I don't want to do that actually. This. So technically I don't need that there. I don't need the sequence. So either way, this is what I'm going to want at the end. Excuse my perfectionism here for a moment. Okay. We're going to rearrange this the same way. Get rid of this. Currently highlighted. Less than 0. I'm going to check the details real quick. Okay, I wanted to check it to see if it had a slider range. So we want this to go down. So if let's make it less than 1, which would make it include 0 and anything below. So if this is the case where currently highlighted is less than 1, instead of just subtracting 1, this is the case, we do this. Done. This. Either which way. Do this. All right, that should do it. Yep. Oh, it didn't update one. Interesting. Now it doesn't necessarily update. Let's see, refresh position. I'll do this, add this at the end of them. See. Technically, set this up for both of them. Refresh the position. Colors down, up, down, down. I'm hitting down. It's not working. Why isn't it working? It's technically less than 0, it does this. Otherwise, it does this. Oh, I think I know what happened. It's me. Sorry about that. My OneDrive, this project was stored in my OneDrive, and my OneDrive will tend to it will tend to redo, force its upload on things that I've made changes to. So that's what happened. That goes down. That's an easy, no problem. So probably the original setup I had would have worked fine. That's really weird that it changed that. So anyway, so it won't need refresh position. It just needs to be. Okay. Shape the colors down, it goes down, keeps going down, keeps going down, goes up. But now it has a problem going. Black. Hmm. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna set this back up as my original setup. I won't let me. God. Goodness gracious. Set this up over here. Everything aside. There. Grab this. This will do the same thing. This can go back to being 0. Okay. Up by. Okay. Make sure that didn't go back. Up, down, down, up, down. Yep. Okay, it's perfect. So. Anyways, those are some of the additions. Now let me show you a couple of the new features. One of them will be, because I imagined that someone eventually somewhere will have to make a menu where it does not, a menu item where it'd be a waste for it to have its own complete menu. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's say, I'm just going to add it to each one. I'm just going to do that. That's a good idea. So in each one of these, I'm going to add a new element. I'm going to call this one back. And I'm going to hit summon internal menu. And so I'm going to set it the same thing as the parent, which is the system default. It's in projectile size, so let's go check it out. Projectile size, back. So, percent, tiny, projectile size, back. Goes back to the main menu. So this way, say you had a submenu in projectile shape, and you wanted to, like, instead of pyramid, you had one called triangle, and then you clicked on it. It was the only one of its kind. The other ones had actions, or vice versa. You had a menu full of redirections, except there was one item that was not a redirection. It would be a waste to have a whole new menu just for that one item. Or vice versa. where you have a bunch of items that are executes and one item is not, or however many, you will be able to mix the two menu items individually now. So it's a nice little thing that is going on there, and it's already in the system automatic. Technically, when you make a choice, usually it finds out whether or not you it finds out whether it is an item, finds out if the menu is redirecting or if that specific component is redirecting. If either one is true, it'll take it to the submenu. Otherwise, if both of them are false, it'll have that item execute. And I added a new thing. So instead of at the end of every single thing, when you actually go to instead of adding the execute at the end, it's going to set it so it'll. You know what? I'm going to do something here just for you guys. Okay, so instead of adding the execute at the end of every single execute here, it'll just end up doing it automatically based on the menu. So projectile size, you can see it has, it's a default item, auto close, menu, and execute. So since this is the one, was this the one that I added the back? Yes, it is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it so that it does not automatically close the menu and execute. Now that with the redirect, the single redirect item will pair very nicely. So projectile size, 75%. I clicked on it. Back. I close the menu. 75%. 50%. I closed it with Q because I have it to toggle on and off with Q. So there we go. So it's pretty simple. Obviously, here, oh, you know what? I have a great idea. So I'm going to pull open the context browser over here. And I'm going to take projectile size and I'm going to duplicate it. Except this one, I'm going to call player size. Let's open it. I'm going to put this back where it was. So we have this new one called player size. And we're going to have it set so that it will take technically I could have made it, you can either duplicate, which will work, or another thing I could have done is made this item the actual parent. Either one would work. It really would. So you know what, I'm going to go ahead and reparent it. Because rather than having the projectile size. Oh, I think I crashed. Whoops. That's why it's important to save often. Everything I'm saved. So excuse my nonsense. Okay. Restore now. Projectile size isn't here. Everything else is here. Firing rate. I believe the last change I made was in projectile size, adding the... Oh, these are shaped. Adding the back button. Well, now I'm going to call the back button. Okay, so I'm going to make a... Open content browser. So, projectile size. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to create a child blueprint class. I'm going to call it player size. Because this way, whatever the values are in projectile size, it'll maintain it as well. Put this back where it belongs over here on my second screen. So if I were to go, actually that probably wouldn't be the best, huh? Then again, it's customizable. So let me delete that element. You know what? I'm keeping back. I like back. But I'm going to change it so that it will automatically close. This one I do want it to close. So, go back to projectile size. This back, I'm going to change it to player size. And I'm going to give it a redirect to the player size. Go back to player size, event graph. Now, I want to do an override. The override will be for execute PyMenu item. Owner, index. Simple. Now, remember what I said about making custom functions in the blueprint interface? That's what we're going to be doing. So, change player. I'm going to size it, call it scale. Go into first person. It's not showing up. Why? Because I need a Boolean. I need an output of sorts. I'm just going to call it success. I like calling it success. Now we go back here, and there it is. Change player scale. So, I'm going to do, let's see, player trans, oopsie. Set player set scale. Set actor scale. Make vector. Now, see, there's no, I need an input as well, because I need to be able to pass the this value from here. Good, so let's see. First person. I'm sorry, here. Okay. Let's call this player scale. Let's put this in as a float. Now I can go and set that there. This aside. Send it nice and neat. I just check these because. But I'm going to need the movement command because I don't want to just change the size. I want to change the speed that they move at. So get max speed, come to variable, we'll call it original speed. Save that. Just want to change the player scale. Instead of running at the same pace, I'll run proportional to my new size. So, set max. There we go. Set max walk speed. And I'll take this, multiply it, float times float, the original speed, put it in, plug it in, finish it off. Power save. So, everything is pretty much set up where it needs to be, how it needs to be, wherever it needs to be. Only thing we need to do is actually pretty much copy this. Oh, projectile sizes. Silly me. So let's see, I'm gonna go back into projectile size. I'm gonna do pretty much this. Click over here. And change player scale. Interface. Plug in the owner, plug in the variable that I want. And see, I could change the setting point if I wanted to. So if I wanted to add more, I could. I just have to add more in the defaults. Defaults has 5. 6 elements. There's 5 here. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to add a couple. I'm going to change this one here to 150%. This one's going to be 200%. And then I'll make a new one. 300%. So I'm going to change these values here as well. 0.5. 2 and 3. Now they match. But I still want that back menu. Oops. No. Still want that back menu. So let's call this back. And it's redirected. Projectile size. And set it as to summon the internal menu. Just this right here. And now we should be all set. So, save all of the things. Hit play. Projectile size. 50%. Press Q. Test it. It works. Change the color. There we go. Firing rate, fully automatic. Now, projectile size, player size. I'm going to make myself tiny. I'm itty bitty. Let's make the projectile size huge. I'm going to press Q to close it. Now I'm going to go to projectile size. Player size. It still says projectile size at the top, but you don't need to change. 300%. I'm huge. Those arms. Ooh, I ran into a glitch. And the glitch is close automatically. Auto close. Okay, well, there's a glitch going on where my movement isn't toggle panel quite working. I think it has to do with all the cues I've pressed. So let's try this. Colors Q. Okay, it's working now. Projectile size 50% Q. Still works. Projectile size. I know what it is. Player size. Projectile sizes. Class defaults has 6 elements, all the way down to 3. Projectile size has 1.5, 2, and 3. That is so odd. Because technically, when I change the player scale, it's supposed to go here, change walk speed, the original speed times however much the scale is. So let's see. Projectile size, 150%. Change the player size as well to 300%. Oh, I guess that was it. Maybe it. I was in the ground. Projectile size, player size, 200%. Doesn't want to seem to walk. Player size 100%. So my guess is that in construction, get max speed here for some reason isn't replicating. Because the max speed, max walk speed, that's the problem. Get max walk speed. So just a little error on my part. Player size 300%. Moving quick. Look how quick I'm moving. Vertical size 150%. Press Q to close it. So it's not shooting very accurate. But you guys get the idea. And so, ta-da! That's, I think, pretty much it. I mean, there's, obviously a bunch of stuff that if you wanted to, you could definitely do with the menu. It's really as customizable as you can handle. I mean, you see all the different elements that are on each and every single one of these, the individual datas. There are tons of things. If you wanted subtext, let's do the subtext. Let's go to firing rate and set subtext. So, menu individual subtext. Let's set it to first one single shot. One and done. Oh, good. One and done. Three, four, one. And the last subtext, I'm going to call it Infinity. And of course, we just enabled subtext. So, use subtext. Yes, we want to use subtext. Oopsie. Use menu, subtext. There we go. Color we don't necessarily need. If you want to give, let's give it a color. Let's make things fancy. See how fancy can we go. So let's see. Name text, subtext, color right here. So we don't want it to be transparent. We want it to be nice and red. Compile, save. Play. Firing rate. Infinity. Oh, the colors aren't there. But you can see the subtext and how they are and where they are and so on and so forth. So it does work. Let's see. Let me just take a quick gander at the subtext color. Yes. Oh, I turned it back off. Silly me. Firing rate. Ta-da! So yeah, I hope that, you know what? I'm gonna do one last thing here while I have this open, because I've been so busy with my own project that, well, it's kind of why. And between being busy on my own project and not really receiving any input until recently, I haven't really been open on it. So I'm gonna make a new form. I'm gonna have it updated on the marketplace page. So feel free to take a look at that. And I'm going to set up this box over here. There. And how long can this take, really? So, now, let's see. How am I going to do this? What I'm going to do is set up something to interact with something else. Now, personally, I like having my I like having objects that I'll ray trace for to have their own channel. So I'll go to project settings. I'll go down to, I believe it's collision. Yes, trace channel. Trace channel. I'll call it interactive. I'll set the default to ignore. It's interactive. I can go to presets. I like presets. They're fun. Make a new one. And interactive. Technically, I should have called this interact. And then this one, interactive. So, you know what? We don't need the preset. That's more for collisions. So, I'm going to take this and turn it into a prep. Oh, that's right. I have to go to details. Menu, reprints, interactive, cube. Here's the interactive cube. So let's see. Going back down to its original size. Let's make Z. No, that's too much. 3. Ta-da! Oh, I'll make it 2 meters. That's probably more realistic. Because I imagine it's in meters. So, click on it. I'll go to collision presets. Did something wrong somewhere. It's a trace channel. So, let's see. Channel. We're going to do set response to channel. Interact. Let's set it to block. So we're going to do this in the construction. Okay, so first person. Let's see if we have a tick event. Tick, yes, we do. Okay, so I want to move this aside and oops. Put this up here. And then set trace. No, we want to do a trace. So line trace by channel. Trace channel, interact. Actors to ignore. Let's do self. She will automatically ignore self. Sorry. I'm used to having to add actors to ignore, self to actors to ignore when it comes to like a weapon component attached to a parent component. I'm sorry, a weapon actor attached to a parent actor. And you always have to. Okay, so anyways, return value, out hit. Here's what it is. So start. Probably want it to be the position of the camera. So get location. And then we could do vector plus let's do it 300, which is 3 meters forward. That should be enough. Okay, so let's do this out here. It's true. I'm just gonna do a simple print. I can spell. Press E to interact with. Let's format first. It's gonna be a little spammy. So we're going to do this as a do once. It's false, we reset it. Oopsie. Expect the hit result. We want to get the hit actor, the display name. What else? We want to store this. Interactive. Make this linger for about 5 seconds, shall we? First one, this had a timer on it as well. I guess not. Okay, so there and there. You know what? I'm gonna do once here too. something here has to change, so. We'll keep this here. But I also want to do my own ones here. Set this. It'll come up as a null value, which is what I want. So when this is done, reset this one. When this one's done, it'll reset that one. That's pretty much all it'll do at this very instant. So I'm going to go ahead and make another. Let's see. Add new blueprint interface. I'm going to call it interactive menu. Call this first function interacted with menu. Now, first and foremost, we need to give it the success, the Boolean input. I want to know who, so let's do who. And we'll set it as a character. Why not? And then we will also do a high menu master class. And this will be what menu? Without the. Okay. Compile save. You see where I'm going with this, right? So we're going to do technically, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, technically we could have added this to the other one. So let's see if there's a way to, nope. Okay, so never mind that one. Delete that. So interact with player. This needs the success. Oops, not a byte. Boolean. So who character. Menu class. Or I liked it the other way. What menu? High menu master class. File save. So we can go to first person. I don't think I have anything on the E button, which is where we're going to put it. E key. Okay. Actually, that's why I did need it. Excuse me. Sorry. I did need a blueprint interface. I'm going to go make one again. I'm just going to call it interacted with. Success. Character. Call that instigator. Seek interaction. So, E. We're going to, first we're going to see if you're interactive is valid. If it is valid, we're going to try to find out if it has interface. I'll type in interface. Does implement interface. Here we go. Type class. We're going to put, what is it called? Interacted with. So technically, we could do these both as a Boolean. If is valid, because we'll need these both. So it's better to do it this way rather than check one followed by checking the other. So we press E. We're going to see if the interactive is valid, and then does it implement this interface. Now, before we move on, let's do that. Let's add to the class settings interacted with. Boom, there it is. Seek interaction. So I'm gonna make a new menu called. So I'm gonna right click on PyMenu Master, and I'm gonna create a child blueprint class, and I'm gonna call it DYE player. So, top text title, choose your color. Scroll down, 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 down. Oh, I didn't have to scroll that down. Top text, yes. Now let's add individual data. Red. And then we'll make this one red. I'm just going to do 3 colors. So I'll delete this 4th one. And 5th one. So red, green. I guess I do need. Okay. I don't want the menu individual color. I'm going to change the color of the text. So this is 0. This is 0. Oopsie. Blue. 0, 0. I'll call this silver. And of course, violet. Gotta have me some violet. 0.5, 0, and 1. Now, we want to set it so use text is checked, use text color is checked, use text color all, that is checked. All, anything with all at the end means you are going to go by that individual component. So you know what? I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going to make this also non-radial. And I'll leave it like that. Delete these. Now we need to execute. Execute pie menu item. So whatever index we're going to get in the array. Which array? Data. Get individual data. Break it down. I personally like unchecking everything except for the items that I use. I feel like potentially, instead of calling the entire thing and picking and choosing, you're calling that individual one. So compile, save. Back to the radio menu command. I'm going to call it color me pretty. Boolean. Success. Color. Pretty. Compile, save. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to save everything because apparently everything needs to be saved. Materials. I'm going to find the first person. There we go. I'm going to open up the texture for this. Body color. Here we go. I'm going to toss this in there as well. I guess it wasn't as easy. Ah, here we go. Copy. Here, you can paste. Except I do want it to be visible. See, I didn't even have to do anything here. Body color is the name of it. Now, for the player instruction, I want to obtain get material. Hold on. Element 0, just the one. Okay, I'm perfectly alright with that. Get material. Element 0. Create material instance for the mesh 2P. I like them being the same one when I'm referencing both back to back like that or simultaneously. So we get the material for the static mesh create a material instance, and then I want to save this as a variable. Promote to variable, arms, material. Now, color me pretty. Grab this. Set parameter. It's color, so it's vector. It's a vector parameter. It's called body color, capital B, capital C. Plug in this value over there. Space this out. Boom, boom, compile, save. Now, back to being here. When we do this, this is when we want to send that message. Do you remember what it was called? Seek interaction. So we want to send the message. If these two things are true, seek interaction. And the target, the interactivity, the instigator is self. It's our character. Okay, now go to the interactive cube. When they do this, what do we want to do? We want to be able to... This is going to be tricky. Oh wait, I know what to do. Change menu, right? Change menu to target. So we want to do a change menu to target. Change menu to target message. There we go. No, I don't want to just do. I would highly recommend making this into a variable. My interactive variable. And if you wanted to, even making it editable and exposing it on the spawn. Let's see. We want to do die player. I should have called it die player die. That would have been awesome. We want to change the menu to this target. Now let's take a look. We'll see what happens. Change menu, spawn actor, attach to actor, reload menu, pass through roulette mode. Which isn't. Now it doesn't open it. So we want to make a command, an interaction command. An interface command. Sorry, I keep doing that. Keep losing where the main function open menu. All we need here is the success. So now we go back to the interactive cube. Want to do this first. Followed by open menu. Check, check, compile, save, go into first person and make sure second. So open is correct, but I'm not sure that I want it that way because of the situation with the toggles. So I'm just going to make a new one. Open Pie menu, I'm going to call it external. Add the external. And I'm just going to set it over here. Because these menus specifically set for when someone does not have the toggle open. So it'll go through here and check first. Do they want the pie menu to toggle? Yes or no? Yes, then blah. If no, then blah. So, and technically, this one should toggle no matter what. So, let's just go over here. This external one, let's just put it right there. Now we have to find that letter E and limit this so that it only goes off when pie menu is not open. Just to meet these three conditions. The interactive object has to implement the interactive with interface. It has to be valid, and the pie menu cannot already be opened. Now that we do all that, interactive cube, menu, let's see if we actually took care of it. Oh, we did not. External, open pie menu external. Oh, external source is going to open the pie menu. So, there it is here. File save. Save again. Play. Check the menu size. 50%. That still works. I can still walk. I'm pressing E, there's nothing. Oh wait, did we set the trace to go off every tick? I don't remember if we did. That's a bit odd that it did that. Anyways. Every tick does this first, then does this. For shits and giggles, draw debug for one frame. Compile, save, play. I don't see what it's drawing now. Okay, know why. Get a forward vector. Not enough rotation. Let's do times a float of 300. And then add this one. Class defaults. Maybe I have tick. No, start with tick enabled. This is most unusual. Oh, I could see the line. Ah, E to interact with the cube. You can see the little red dot. There we go. E, choose your color. Look at all these colors. Now let's change, say blue. Ooh. I did not put what the actual interaction would be for Color Me Pretty. No, it's there. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So, let's see. Where is it? No, where's Color Me Pretty? Oh, the die player. Event graph. We didn't finish setting this up. So, Color Me Pretty. This is who. This is what. And also, I didn't like the outer indicators, so I'm going to change that. Where is it? The outer indicator. I know there's one. There's the option for it here somewhere. Outer pointer. So I call them pointers. Outer pointer, center pointer. So I'm going to uncheck the outer one and check the center one. Excuse me. All right. So I still have my own personal menu. I'll go with blue. Blue again. Look at that, I'm blue. Violet, silver, green, red, default. There you go. No interaction available. Interaction available. Nothing. No. Yes. 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 Aha! Choose your color. I'm gonna go back to violet because it's a nice color. I wonder if I had black on there. That'd be cool. Nope. I have silver, but not black. I can still use my own menu. Still do all of these things. Boom. Ta-da! And that is it. That is everything that I could possibly show you in one giant thing. Now, a quick second here. You will have to create some of the variables that exist on the in the actual Pi menu. I have a tutorial for that. I'll have it linked in the description. Just to set up when you first migrate and stuff, because I'm going to change it. Right now, adding the project to your folder works great, but the configuration stuff tends to override the configuration items in your own. But you could well, actually no, it might be fixed in the marketplace because it does ask you now. I noticed. Do you want this wants to override some of your project files that already exist in your project folder. Do you want to continue? Hit no. Remember, hit no. Otherwise, it'll override your configuration. And configuration is the things that'll hold up like all your information for your inputs and your ray tracing and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, your different types of tracing channels and collision channels and so on and so forth. So hit no. Right, and that's it. Really. Yeah, I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised. I've been here a few hours. So, anywho, hopefully you this is informative. I'm going to have the description for the video, the tutorial video that goes before this one. So it'll show you how to set up the project initially. I'll have obviously the link, the description for the forum where I'm going to be receiving feedback, so people who want to give feedback more immediately can do so. And yeah, thank you for purchasing and rock on. I don't know what else to say. All right, enjoy.